This is Soul Prime Morning, and it's time for the Good Living segment. That is the segment that we talk everything health. And so today we are going to throw the focus on cholera. There are so many myths surrounding cholera, but the question that we are asking today is, are these myths true? What are some of the truths with these myths? And so I'm asking you, what are some of the myths that you've heard concerning cholera? We would love for you to share that with us on our social media platforms on Joy Prime. It is on Facebook, it is Joy Prime TV, and our WhatsApp number is 055-157-5757. My name is Esiedua Akumia, and I have seated with me this morning Dr. Eva Vera Titefio. She's a medical officer with SIC Bob Freeman Clinic. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you? I'm good, and I'm excited because, you know, today's conversation is a twist to the regular cholera conversation. We are taking it from a different angle.
Sure.
Because, you know, I remember just about a few months ago, there was breakout of cholera, which was spreading massively. We don't know exactly what was going on wrong. I think I quite remember there was even a ban on the selling of vegetables somewhere in the western region. And so the focus was on cholera, and what exactly to do to prevent cholera. So today we are going to talk about some of the myths surrounding cholera and some of the truths behind these myths.
Right.
So are you ready?
Very ready.
Okay. So for what angle do you want us to start it from?
Freestyle.
Freestyle. Okay, so at some point we are going to do a demonstration too. So we've got a beautiful setup on the other side of the studio. We're going to get into that. But I want Dr. Titefio to help us really understand. Yeah, I know some of you might say that, yeah, we already know the definition of cholera, but we still have to know what cholera is. So let's delve into that.
So cholera is a disease caused by a microorganism or bacteria, scientific name Vibrio cholerae, and it's usually spread from contaminated food and water. You know, unfortunately for us in our part of the world, we have water running over. Some people have wells which aren't covered, boreholes that aren't covered. So sewage from other places can actually seep into these water sources. And then when humans come into contact with it by drinking or using it to cook, you can easily get cholera. You know, some people also water vegetables and fruit with some of these and exactly. So it's another source of actually getting
sometimes when you see the vegetables, they're looking so nice, looking all fresh, but you can't see behind.
Exactly. So you're actually at risk of getting cholera when you take vegetables like that without washing them properly or peeling them properly before eating them.
I saw somewhere that as of February 13 this year, cholera cases that had been suspected cases that had been recorded were a little over 6,000, and then we had about 719 confirmed,
and then over 40.
Over 40 that had died. We are in April. Has the numbers changed? Has it gone up? Has it gone down?
So, Karen, I think a couple of weeks ago, our Minister of Health was talking about interventions that are making us see a decline in the number of cases. But, you know, when we talk about myths, we talk about facts regarding cholera. And one myth people used to have was cholera affected only those in the coastal belt. But current records show that we have people in the Ashanti region and even in the eastern region who have been infected with cholera. So it's not only located with people in the coastal belt because of the mode of transmission, but it can move beyond the coastal belt to other places. But currently we are seeing a decline, but then there's still a need for us to be more proactive when it comes to creative or preventive measures towards cholera, so we don't have a surge of it in the coming days.
What could possibly make it that easy and simple for the transferring or the moving of cholera from the coastal belts? Because like you said, originally that's what we know, that people in the central region and Greater Accra region and all of that we are the ones that only get affected easily. But then now we have Eastern region, and then we have Ashanti region also being recorded. So how is that possible?
So you see, like I said, we call something fecal oral. So from the feces to the mouth. and that's usually when there's open defecation. So the water, the waste product seeps into your wells, seeps into your river body, seeps into your borehole, and then you drink it without boiling it properly. You use it to wash your fruits and vegetables, and then you consume them. You're actually taking the organism into your body. Yeah. Then, so if somebody gets it from Accra, for instance, gets cholera in Accra, it's a mild case, travels all the way to any other parts of the country, and then engages in open defecation, the person is actually a carrier. And if this fecal matter gets into any of this water's body, the person, the community is prone to getting cholera. So
a person who is a carrier could only make another person a carrier through open defecation.
Open defecation.
What else?
So open defecation will lead, so when it rains or there's any transfer of that fecal matter into any water body, there are tricks of getting it. And then when they use water sources from these places to water, to irrigate fruits, to irrigate vegetables, you're also at risk of getting it.
You know, some of these vegetables, I'm so concerned about that one because, we have hawkers, some vegetable hawkers who hawk with very beautiful looking carrots. And lettuce, and sometimes you buy it and you think that, you just wash with regular water, you can start chewing.
So we actually advise that before you consume such vegetables, you wash them thoroughly. You can decide to do a bit of salt water or vinegar to wash it out. And then fruits that need to be peeled before eating them, banana, avocados, we encourage them so that
wash them before you peel.
Exactly.
It's one of the things that I don't think people easily do.
Wash fruits, irrespective whether it's banana, it's whole, but still wash it before you eat it.
But that's before you realize after peeling, you're using your hands to just, eat the banana, and then unfortunately you get infected. Oh, this is very interesting. Okay, let's talk about some of the symptoms when you get cholera.
So cholera is not, one myth that people have about cholera is that it's always fatal. No, that's not true.
Okay.
Cholera could be mild, it could be more, the symptoms of cholera, which is usually diarrhea, could be mild, it could be moderate, or it could be severe.
Okay.
Depending on which state you find yourself in, there are various treatment modalities for it. So when we talk about symptoms, like I said, cholera presentation, it presents as diarrhea. Diarrhea is the main symptom of cholera. It could come with vomiting. So it's not every cholera case that would be with diarrhea that could be associated with vomiting. Some could have just the diarrhea, very watery diarrhea, and the characteristic feature is it's like rice water. So those of you who love rice water,
you just destroyed somebody's delicacy.
It makes me call it rice water stools. So that's how when you give us a stool sample, that's how we'll see it. Just looking at it. So it's rice water stool, that's one of the symptoms. And then you could have the vomiting, then you could have abdominal pain. It's when the diarrhea has become so severe that now you are losing a lot of important electrolytes in your body. Then you would have the dehydration, you have the abdominal pains, you have muscle cramps. These are things you need to pay attention to. And the two with diarrhea, with cholera, it doesn't smell. It's not like foul smelling. So if you want to wait till you perceive something, no. If you are losing a lot of, maybe you went to eat something, you went for a party after a day or two, and you realize that, okay, now you're beginning to pass a lot of watery stools. First things first, you get your ORS quickly. You mix it based on your age and your body weight, and then you drink it. And then you get coconut water because, like I said, you are losing electrolyte. So coconut water, by God's divine construction, has the electrolyte that the body needs. So it's one of the interventions you can quickly put in when you start having diarrhea at home before you go to the hospital. And one thing people should notice that it's not every diarrhea or every vomiting that is cholera. We need to take samples when you come to the clinic because there could be other presentations that could also give the same, other conditions that could give the same presentation. So you need to come for us to run some tests and then be sure that what you're having is actually cholera and not another disease you are incubating.
One of the things that I'm not shy to talk about is the fact that I've had cholera before.
Okay.
When I was in university, I do my best to share this story every single time. One time, a group of friends and myself, I had this family campus, people that we do everything together. And went to buy wachi. And when we bought the wachi, the problem, the rara, the problem here was it's something that we were buying often.
Oh, okay.
We're buying from her often.
Okay.
And just this one time.
It wasn't a one-off thing.
It wasn't a one-off thing.
Right.
So just this one time, we all buy the waakye, we enjoy, we eat it.
Right.
And I go back to my room, to my hostel, and out of nowhere, I'm passing watery stool.
Right.
Then, and you see, sometimes when it starts like that, you might think that, oh, maybe it's the moko, that it was too spicy, so your body is just reacting to it. So you pay no heed to it in the early stages.
But did you add the leaves?
Oh, I took mura.
Okay.
I took vegetables.
Sure.
I took it. Because, you know, what is waakye without salad? So I did take it.
Right.
But right at the beginning, it just seemed pretty normal because, you know, I love a lot of pepper, by the way. I love spicy foods.
Okay.
So it seemed normal to me that, oh, I'm probably passing watery stools because of the spice, the shito, and then all of that. Then before I realized I was throwing up. But the point it got to, it looked like it was worse because whilst I was passing watery stools, I was throwing, I was throwing up at the same time. And it was just water.
Okay.
It was just liquid.
Exactly.
That was coming out of my body. I became so weak.
Exactly.
As I'm in a few hours, I lost so much weight. Oh my goodness. You're taking me down memory lane. It's not a good experience. It's a very heartbreaking experience, and I wouldn't pray this on anybody. And that's the reason that I would urge you all to please be careful when you're buying foods from outside. The vegetables can look beautiful, attractive, delicious, and all that, but no, please, if you buy them, I think I prefer that you buy the waakye without the leaves, go home and then prepare yourself. Wash the vegetables. It's safer. It's safer that way.
Doing a mass production, it's a business.
It's a business.
So you should prioritize your health over just eating anything.
Yeah.
You should.
And then the waakye leaves.
Well, if you ask me, I'll just say to be prepared at home, just to be on the safe side.
Okay.
So I said, but I'm going to work and I won't be able to do it. Wake up early in the morning, get your own leaves and then prepare it.
And then prepare it.
For your own safety. Yeah. Because you're not always sure where they're getting it from. And the water seller isn't even sure where she is getting it from. So for your own health and your own safety's sake, you can prepare it at home and then take it along.
Let's get right into some of the myths that, you know, that are untrue.
Okay, so before we go into the myth, cholera can be very fatal in children. Because usually, like, you see, you gave a beautiful example I actually wanted to hint on. When you start throwing up and you start passing the watery stools, you lose energy. You don't have the appetite to eat. And when it happens that way, let me use the lame term, your sugar stores goes down. So if you don't intervene early, you don't report early to a clinic for early intervention, you're losing a lot of fluid. It can affect your kidney. It affects every other part of your body, and then it could lead to dire consequences. So please don't sit and go like, oh, I'm waiting to take it with this. Just come in, let's attend to you. I mean, early prevention is always very important. So let's go to the myth. People used to believe that cholera was spread by bad air, but no, it's from contaminated food and water. And then some also used to believe that it's only found in those in the coastal belt. But recent cases we've recorded are showing that even those within the middle belt are also prone to getting it. And some believe that cholera is a disease for those in poor conditions. Some years back, cholera was found in America, found in London. So it's not necessarily people in poor conditions. If you are living in East Legon and the other places, and you go and buy the ruara, and you don't make sure that I mean, you can't tell, but then if you're eating the leaves and then it's unhealthy, you can easily get cholera also. And some also believe that like I said, it's always fatal. It's not always fatal. There are different types of severity, in terms of severity. You can have mild, you can have moderate, you can have severe. And another thing is that, like you said, I don't know if your other friends had the cholera.
So they just passed watery stools and they were good. They took ORS and they were good.
They were good. So they even looked for an early intervention. But you see, when someone comes into contact with the bacteria which causes cholera, your body tries to mount a response against it. So depending on how much concentration of the bacteria is in what you consume, it will tell your presentation. So if it's within a small quantity, it may not really show much. But if it's that, like a lot, the bacteria is a lot in whatever you took, then you could come down with like severe symptoms of it. So that's one thing we should also take note of.
Well, not only should we be very mindful how we wash our vegetables, but we should also be very mindful how we wash our hands.
Exactly.
We touch things a lot. You go to work, like I, for instance, right from the car to the control room, coming to sit here, I've touched a lot of stuff. But the question here is, at the end of the day, when we go home, or the least opportunities that we get to go into the washrooms, do we wash our hands properly? We've been taught, but are we doing it properly? And so, Doc, you're going to teach us, aren't you?
I would. I'll teach about hand.
Okay. All right.
Before we move to that, like I said, cholera is a disease of poor sanitation. And I think last week or just a couple of days back, I saw a video on Facebook where it was raining heavily, and this lady had left her house, came out with a sack full of rubbish and poured it into the drain.
Yes.
And there was another one of these aboboyas.
Yes. I even did that story on Friends last week. Yeah.
We always say the government, but cleanliness is next to godliness, and our health is in our hands.
Yeah.
When I was a bit younger, I know the town council.
Yeah, town council. Town council.
Yes. They were very proactive with
very
these
proactive.
things. And it was cleaner.
A town council,
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know what has happened over the years, but I think we need to go back to our roots. We are missing the point. And like I keep saying, it's a disease of poor sanitation. That is it.
Yeah.
If you're having cholera in your community, in your country, just means that your country is extremely dirty. And people drink water.
Then it means that Ghana is extremely dirty.
I mean, no, we are not mincing words. People drink water, and then they just throw it out wherever they find themselves. And I'm sometimes asking myself, what is really wrong with us?
What is wrong if after drinking the water or after snacking or whatever you snacked on, you just put it in your bag, you wait to get home and dump it in your dustbin?
It's just nothing. There's nothing wrong with it. And we are approaching the raining season, so the more we are choking our drains, which we sometimes forget, when there's torrential rains, it will just sip over. And if there's fecal matter in there, it gets into your into any borehole, any well, any water source, you would come down with the cholera.
Speaking about the first myth that you mentioned, where you said that a lot of people thought that cholera was airborne. A lot of people still do think that way, and then they think that, when you go to a community and there's bad smell there, there's a high possibility that you could get cholera. So, like, bad smelling gutters if you're living in the neighborhood. Meanwhile, the wache, some people enjoy the wache by the ones it's weird sometimes. It's really weird sometimes. But anyway, so we are talking on cholera, and we are discussing some of the myths surrounding cholera and the truths behind these myths. Anyway, so have you heard of any myth at all that you can share with us on our social media platforms? We would really love to hear about it. So you can take our Facebook page, go to Facebook. It is Joy Prime TV. Our WhatsApp number is 055-157-5757. And Dr. Tetefio is here, and she's unearthing it all for us this morning. So let's get into our washing our hands. So yes, okay. So first of all, what are some of the things you need to put into consideration
when you're washing your hands?
Yeah, before you do that.
Usually we prefer to wash your hands under running water, not stagnant water, unless you want to eat.
What does that do if you end up washing your hands in stagnant water? Because you go to chop bars, you wash your hands in a bowl of water.
Exactly.
Yeah, so
if it's stagnant water that has been used by other people, your hands are still not clean. It's better to get if you want to even wash it in the bowl.
Even if you've done it with soap?
If you want to wash it in the bowl, then it's what only you have used, but not a mansamboa for bowl, where other people have also used it. That's why I said if it's running water, you're just the one washing your hands at that moment, and then you discard it, and then it's not something that is recycled for other people to use. So if you want to wash in the bowl, then it's a bowl that you are the only person using it. Then you discard the water, and then you're good to go.
And this is the point where we go to the other side of the studio, because we've got some bowls there, and Doc is going to demonstrate exactly how to wash your hands. Okay, the best way. So Doc, if you can just go there to the other side. Okay. All right.
So So the important things you need to get when you're doing your hand washing, we have our bowl of water, we have our soap, and then we have our tissue. Important, very important to have all of these. So before you wash your hands, you need to wet your palms. So I start by wetting, and first things first. You're not supposed to have things on when you're washing your hands.
So if you have jewelries or if you've got a watch, you've got your rings on, take them off.
Yes.
Okay.
So then I wet my hands.
Right.
And then I pour a generous amount of soap into my palm. Okay. Then I rub it till I get a lather. I like lathers a lot, but then I'll be...
Yeah, I do too. I really do too.
So then we start, this goes out here. Then this hand does it in here.
Okay.
Then you're trying to wash the fingers in this. So you cup it this way, and then you wash it in and out. Then you cup the right, wash it in and out. Then you come to your thumb.
Hey, this part I don't remember.
So let's do it again. So you've applied a generous amount of soap.
So you rub it.
Then you interlock your fingers, right with the left to wash anything out. Left with the right to wash anything out.
Right.
Then you cup here.
Okay.
And then you cup the right. Then we go to our thumb because there could be dirt hiding in here.
In here.
Then you come here also to the left. Then our fingers. You just create a little circle and then swirl
in the palm.
In the palm. Exactly. Then you do the same to the left. Then we don't leave our elbows. I mean our wrists, sorry. So you come here, you just rub it nicely. Then when you are done, you just rinse everything out.
Doc, you have to do it again, by the way.
Okay.
So if you just tuned in, this is Prime Morning, and this is the Good Living segment. This is the Good Living segment, and we are discussing cholera. And what exactly we are talking on over here is the myth surrounding cholera. So as it stands now, Dr. Tetefio was teaching us the best way to wash our hands.
Right.
And she's demonstrated it for us. So in case you missed out on it, Doc, I want you to take it pretty slow, okay?
Slowly.
For, anybody who just tuned in, who just joined us, so we need it.
So
properly.
We start first. So like I said, you need either you're washing your hands under running water or you have a bowl with clean water to wash your hands. So you first start by wetting your palms. So I'm going to start by wetting my palms. Then you pour a judicious amount of soap into your palm. If you are using cake soap, you just rub it in nicely. And then I rub both hands to get a lather. Yeah. Then I interlock the right with the left.
Yeah.
So make sure that I'm washing in between the web spaces. Then I do the left with the right to wash in between the web spaces also. Then I'm going to cup my fingers. So left in the right. Gently, making sure you're washing it well. Then right in the left.
Is there a number of times that you have to do these? The interlocking, okay.
Just count 1,
2, 3, 4, 5.
You're good to go.
Okay.
Then move to the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
You're good to go.
Okay.
Then there's these are also web spaces. So your thumb. 2, 3, 4, 5. I do the same thing here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then your fingertips. Those are the two love keeping long nails. You actually harbor dirt in there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you just wash your wrists. Then if it was a running tap, and then it doesn't use a sense and has a knob, I usually would wash.
That's what I do too.
Yes,
I wash the knob.
Done, exactly. Then I know my hands are clean.
Yes. Yeah.
So then you're good to go, and then you can rinse your hands. My hands feel so clean. Oh my God.
All right, so please,
that's it.
I hope that you've learned something today. The appropriate way to wash your hands. During COVID, for instance, washing of our hands became a thing where it was being advocated on social media. But another thing that was also being advocated was hand sanitizers.
Good. So you can use the hand sanitizer, but after maybe 3 to 5 times using it, please wash your hands because you're actually still keeping dirt in your palm.
But it says it kills 99.9% germs.
So there's 0.1%. You never know what that can do to you. I mean, even with there's cholera vaccine, even with the cholera vaccine, we still encourage people to maintain like healthy lifestyle, good living conditions. It's not 100%.
Okay.
There's still a little room of error. So you shouldn't just put all your confidence in your vaccine, in the fact that you're using your hand sanitizer or the alcohol wrap. Yes, they can kill the germs in your hand, but then it's still safer to wash your hands than to use the alcohol wrap or the sanitizer.
We have so much. You know what? Let's just go back and sit down.
Sure.
Okay. So I was about saying that we have so much belief in hand sanitizers that when you're in town, you go out somewhere, there's no easy access to you having water or soap to wash your hands. And so you opt for the hand sanitizer. You're hungry, you want to snack on something really quickly. So you just take the hand sanitizer, you rub it.
We all do it. I'm a corpus, I do it.
I do it too. I do it too. But looking at what you just said about hand sanitizers, so I mean, we have been comforted with the fact that it kills 99.9% germs.
Hand washing does you greater good than the hand sanitizer will do. Within that short space, you need to snack on something and you can't get water to wash your hands. You can use that, but then it's best if you get clean water to wash your hands after and then you're good to go. Please.
Regardless of the amount of hand sanitizers you have on you, you carry a lot of hand sanitizers, all sorts of colors, all sorts of scents.
Fragrances.
Please, still wash your hands.
Yeah.
That's what Dr. Tetsefio is teaching us today. And I'm happy that we've had this conversation, honestly speaking, because I'm actually a victim to this. No, I'm not a victim, I'm a culprit.
You do that a lot, right?
I do that a lot. Because, I mean, we understand, and you see, for some reason, inwardly, I knew it was incomplete.
It's not.
Because 99.9%.
Exactly. The feeling I'm having after washing my hands, it's not the same. It feels good. It's not the same as using the hand sanitizer and the alcohol wrap.
That's true.
And sometimes some of the alcohol wraps and the hand sanitizers we use are caustic to our skin. So some people actually use it and then they realize that their skin become a little bit drier and all that. So just wash your hands. If you're in town, you can't get soap, you can't get water, you use it. But when you get to a place where you can get soap and water, please and please and please again, wash your hands and be safe.
Right after this particular segment, I'm heading to the washroom. I'm going to wash my hands. I'm just going there to wash my hands so I can feel that my hands are very clean, because I have touched a lot of things. And I envy you at this moment. I'm going to do mine right after this particular segment. But before you go, what would be the final submission that you would give on this particular topic?
Cleanliness is next to godliness, like I said early on. Most times people throw people know what they have to do. They don't need,
they do.
Yeah, they know they need to keep wherever they find themselves in. But everyone says, Abai Nebeye, Abai Nebeye. But who is Abai? It's me and you. And it starts from us before a ripple effect would happen. So let's try in our own small way to keep our communities clean, to keep where we stay clean. And if you're able to do this, we can have a reduced, very soon, it shouldn't be something that, I mean, in this day and age, we still have cholera happening every year in the country. It's a matter of concern. So yes, let's wash our fruits and vegetables very well. Let's be mindful of where we are buying our fruits and vegetables from. One thing you should notice that cholera, which presents with diarrhea, isn't always accompanied with vomiting or with a fever.
But it could be cholera.
It could be cholera, or it could be something else.
Yeah.
So you need to go to the hospital for them to do proper tests for you, and then we know what to do, we know how to handle the situation. And your first aid is ORS and then coconut water. Drink as much as water as you can, if possible, before you go and then you see any doctor or health facility.
Speaking about ORS, I want you to address this quickly.
Right.
A number of times we have our kitchen ORS. When I say kitchen ORS, salts and sugar solution.
Get ORS. Or if you can't get it,
don't do your own thing at home.
If you can't get it, just get coconut water. It's much closer to the body's electrolytes that you need. Yeah, it's better.
So please, those of you who have been doing salt, sugar, and water solution, just because, you sense that it seems that there's cholera somewhere, please stop it. Just get ORS so you can be free. Or you visit the nearest clinic and get tested for cholera. Yeah. Doc, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure.
It's been wonderful having you here. We hope to have you a little bit more.
Sure.
Yes. So today's discussion has been on cholera, where we've been talking about the myths surrounding cholera. Please, like Dr. Tetefio mentioned, make sure that you wash your vegetables, your fruits and vegetables with salt and water, or vinegar and water is the best way to wash your vegetables. Some even go to the extent of using soap.
Oh, no.
Okay.
No, you don't need soap.
You don't need to. Just use salt and water or vinegar and water to wash your vegetables and your fruits, and you're good to go. And please wash your hands frequently. Yeah. Okay, wash your hands frequently. And in case you missed out on how exactly to wash your hands, just scroll it back a little bit on Facebook and you'll get it all captured. Doc, thank you so much for your time this morning, and we hope to have you again. Sure. So my guest has been Dr. Eva Vera. She has a very beautiful first name, by the way. Dr. Eva Vera Tetefio. She's a medical officer with SIC Bob Freeman Clinic, and it's all about cholera and the myths surrounding it, the truths behind some of these myths as well. Well, ladies and gentlemen, speaking about washing of hands, vegetables and fruits and what have you, well, it's time for us to get into Big Chef Junior Season 4. So I don't know if Doc knows, but we have a show on Joy Prime. It's a yearly show for kids, where kids between the ages of 7 and 12, they come and show us their culinary skills.
Interesting.
The previous years has been super. They have very crazy ideas, putting together certain ingredients here and there, and making all sorts of meals with very interesting names.
Wow.
And so this year is really going to blow our minds, because we actually have I remember Jaden from last year. There's one particular contestant that is vying to come back into the competition today, because, you know, he couldn't get any further in last year's season. So he's back again this year. Well, let's see what happens. He auditioned, but the final 12 who will be in this season for Big Chef are going to be unveiled on the 20th of April, and officially it will be launched on the 27th of April. And so we want to go into the kitchen where the auditions happened, just to see exactly how it all went down, some of the things that, you know, those that were called in to come. We had over 200 entries. And it was just mind-blowing. We were overwhelmed. And so let's go and take a look at what happened at the auditions.
Joy Prime's culinary extravaganza Big Chef Junior is back for its 4th season, with its ultimate goal to discover the next kiddie chef in Ghana. After calling for auditions and receiving over 300 entries, 30 were selected for the final round. The audition that took place last Saturday at the GH Media School saw all 30 show up in the kitchen to battle it out for the final 12 spots. The 30 contestants were split into groups of 3 and balloted to prepare either oats, rice pudding, custard, or Tom Brown the Ghanaian style. Judges Kofi Ajekum and Rita Oko spelled out the rules and shared their expectations.
Now this is season 4. Tell me what your expectations are.
Their safety and hygiene. Of course, cooking is all about safety and hygiene.
Okay.
The other part is also the originality. How and the manner of being able to put food or ingredients, combining them together, and their creativity. And the other part also has to do with their technical skills and the plating. Of course, you cannot cook without presenting and plating it. So I'll look at that aspect.
I'm going to expect good kitchen hygiene from the contestants, their personal hygiene, their knife drills, their composure in the kitchen. Yeah.
After 20 minutes, the host, Michelle Ajekum, halted the contestants. Judges gave their final verdict. The final 12 have been selected, but will only be reviewed on the official launch of Big Chef Junior Season 4, slated for April 20, 2025 on Joy Prime. Big Chef, good meals by kids. Joy Prime's culinary extravaganza Big Chef Junior is back for its 4th season, with its ultimate goal to discover the next next kiddie chef in Ghana. After calling for auditions and receiving over 300 entries, 30 were selected for the final round.
And I said we had over 200, and it happens to be that we had over 300 entries. And so let's see what happens in this year's season of Big Chef Junior, season 4. My name is Asiedua Akumia. You can call me the Golden Girl. Rosemary Felly was here with me. We come your way again tomorrow, 6 a.m. sharp. Enjoy the rest of your day and enjoy the rest of our programs right here on Joy Prime. Bye.